Hello everybody and welcome to Kerbal Space Program with me, REinstein. We're playing the career mode, and after the last mission where we went to Minmus, I thought why not go one better and fly off to DUNA. But not only that, I wanted to head for IKE as well with the same rocket. Now just to let you know, Mikhail Diablos, I've taken on board your advice and found a way to fit the heat shield just underneath the science bay, the science junior there that you can see near the top of the rocket. That's going to be a much easier way of re-entering, so I just have to come back into Kerbal atmosphere with the command module and the Science Junior. So yeah, I think that's brilliant advice. Thank you for that, mate. So basically all I really needed to do was somehow escape Kerbal orbit. So I thought the easiest way to do that surely must just be to burn straight up as far as you can. I think that's like 3,000 meters per second you need to gain. So I have speeded this video up for your convenience, around about 2 times, because the mission would take a long time otherwise. So yeah, my rocket's pretty, I think it's a pretty good design. There's probably more efficient ways you could do it, but with the technology we have, I found this to be quite good. I don't like this stage in particular though, because it's got this giant rocket and not such a big fuel tank, so that means the thrust to weight ratio is okay, but the length of the burn is not okay. So you can see it's already run out. We have to get onto the next stage, but we're nearly at a fast enough speed. So you get about nearly 2,700 meters per second. Enables me to escape from the gravitational field of Kerbal. So after a short sleep, because it takes freaking ages to get to DUNA, you can see on the top left-hand corner, our mission has been nearly 2 years already. But we finally get our encounter with DUNA with 4,927 meters per second delta V remaining. So then all that's left to do is create our burn at the periapsis of DUNA and slow down our rocket enough to be captured into a stable orbit of DUNA. But once I get there, I kind of want to get to IKE as well. Don't forget that. That's a very important point in this video. There's a surprise coming, don't worry. So off we go. We're creating our burn, and you can see there's IKE. IKE is in quite a close orbit, or at least looks close from here anyway. And then I get to orbit DUNA, and the reason I want to do this is because there's absolutely tons and tons of science available. We've yet to be here in this career so far, so hopefully if I'm able to return to Kerbin, I'm going to come back with shed loads of science and forward our research program. You know, decades in one mission. This is quite frankly one of the biggest undertakings we've had so far in this career of Kerbal Space Program. So here we go. I thought I'll take the scientific readings here. So there's 50 for that mystery goo. The Science Junior, 125. You can see the available science is quite frankly ridiculous. Another 60. And then I thought another 40. Temperature scan while in space high over DUNA, and there we are. You've also got to do an EVA, haven't you? But I think we already did that in a previous video, so I was unable to get any science from there. So that's all the science I really wanted from DUNA, and I thought let's create this maneuver that enables me to fly past IKE as well. So once we get there, again, I've only got one scientific instrument left, which I think is the mystery goo. So again, there's another 50 science. You can't turn your nose up at that. And off we go. We are back now into an orbit of DUNA once we've escaped IKE. So then I had to create a burn, which doesn't take too much fuel, 199-ish meters per second, and then we can escape that and come back into the gravitational field of the sun, which is how you get back to Kerbin. Now, obviously, Jebediah is in charge of the module once again. So it took ages again to get out to this part of the mission, but again I've found the point where I need to do my burn in order to get into the gravitational pull of Kerbin, and I'm thinking success is on the horizon. You know, we've got plenty of delta V, we've got over 3,500 as we burn it, and I just wanted to change the camera angle here so we can take a look and see what kind of approach we're going to have, because what you're really aiming for, as I've talked about in my previous videos, is a shallow angled re-entry to Kerbin. Now I can't really affect it too much from here, at least not that I know of, But you can see the length of time it takes to get around the solar system to get back to Kerbin. It's quite a long time. That's why I fast forwarded the video. If I did this in real time, we'd be talking about 27 minutes of me talking while we're just floating through space, which is not going to keep anyone entertained, is it? Let's be fair. But obviously, there we go. We're nearly there. So I tried to just mess around with my approach, but no good. There we go. We're back towards Kerbin now, but you can see I'm going to need quite a large delta V in order to be quite a large, change in velocity in order to get an approach that I'm happy with to Kerbin, and it's over 900. We've still got 2,983 meters per second, so we should be good. But then I'm trying to maneuver my nav ball, or trying to maneuver my ship, and you can see on the nav ball it's taking me way past the direction I need to be heading. There we go. We gradually approach the maneuver point, and away we go. Now, I've run out of fuel again. Thankfully, we've still got our final stage of our rocket, or at least the final stage with fuel on it. And we're heading back to Kerbin. Yay! This is going to be a success. I can feel it in my bones. There we go. And now I've just got to point my rocket in a direction that gives me a periapsis that I'm happy with. So I was aiming for 75,000 meters above Kerbin, because then I can create an orbit which is 75,000 meters roughly all the way around the planet, and then I can just do a shallow burn to descend, much like you would create the orbit when you're heading to the moon or something, but in reverse. So here we go, just trying to get it, and there we go. So I thought I'd create a burn instead to 26,000 meters, and I thought that's the best way of doing it, because that way I'm getting that shallow re-entry that I want. And Jebediah's like, yeah, we're gonna make this, sir. I'm coming back with tons of data. We're gonna be the richest motherfuckers in town. Yes, we are. Look at that. I love that shot there when you can see the glaciers over Kerbin. Looks so much like Earth. It's amazing. But anyway, there we go. We've managed to decouple. We've got everything we need on re-entry. And Jebediah is coming home safely. Go, Jebediah. You brute. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's well happy. This is going to forward our space program a ridiculous amount. There we go. And so this is the stage that I was talking about. For you in particular, Mikhail, you were saying to place the heat shield so we burn in backwards. And it's much more effective. Thanks for that. It reduces the drag on the way, on the initial burn when we're trying to escape Kerbin. And it increases the drag on the way back, which is exactly what we want. So I can't thank you enough for that. I hadn't thought of it, and it took me a while to figure out how to put it on, but I got there in the end. You just need to make sure it's above the fuel tanks. If it's in between fuel tanks, then it interrupts the flow of fuel, so you actually lose the delta. You lose some delta V in that way. And here we go, heading back down nice and safely. And I'm thinking, oh god, we're going to land on land. Now, if you land too high, too low, if you approach, let's say there's a mountain that's like 1,000 or 1,200 meters above sea level, perhaps over there on the left, then my parachute wouldn't deploy in time in order for me to land safely. So, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Thankfully, I landed on a nice low bit of land, and my parachute, it's kind of fine, though. You have to admit, it looks like I'm going to crash, but thankfully, I'm safe. And with all this Delta V, we're going to be able, not all this Delta V, with all this science, we're going to be able to unlock some awesome new parts for our rocketry program, and perhaps build some satellites, perhaps build more efficient rockets, perhaps even build an airplane. I'd like to mess around with airplanes at some point. So there we go. All we got to do is recover the vessel and see how much science we accrued. 533 we have now. Told you, that's going to rocket forward our space program. Sorry about that. There we go. So let's have a little look. What should we unlock? I guess there's some really cool parts now. And remember, in order to unlock these, I had to upgrade our R&D department. Otherwise, it won't let you research things above 100 science. So I've unlocked that one. Then I thought maybe we could go for this because it's got a mobile processing lab. That sounds awesome. This one's got monopropellant. No. And I was like, what do we spend our last one? I can only afford one more of these. There we go. Thanks for watching, guys.